I just made a post on Instagram asking for a bunch of questions from people, and we're getting some good ones. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Also, the Phantom 3 Standard. I know you guys want this drone. Here she is. No, you know what? I need to show this drone off because... Oh, there she is in all her glory. Look at the beauty of the camera and the gimbal. Just imagine all the shots you guys could get with this thing before you crash it, because whoever wins it, you're definitely gonna crash it. Just hopefully not the first day. I wanna win this drone. The contest ends on the 8th of February at midnight. All you have to do is subscribe, follow the details in the description below on how to sign up. It's super, super easy. Also, no matter where you live in the world, you can win the drone, and if you enter, you have the same odds as anybody else. Oh, I got a new watermark. No, wait. It's so hard to do this. I got a new watermark. Big shout out to my buddy Evan at 312sites.com. He's out of Chicago, super cool dude. I have a feeling we're gonna be working a lot in the future. We have a couple logos we're working on right now for some new hats. Basically what I'm saying is in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be wearing a Stradman hat. I'm super excited. I'm not gonna... Okay, so, I've been getting a ton of awesome questions on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me. Let's go get the Gallardo. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. I've discovered that this little spot right here is the absolute perfect tripod. Look at that. Set you right there. Looks pretty good. It's hot. It's hot in here. Now I'm going to be the first to admit this isn't the most well planned out video, but I think that's important for a Q&A because I want the answers to come across as raw and unscripted. Now, there are probably also going to be some questions you guys are really interested in, other questions you're not interested in. So in the description below, I'm going to list out each question I answer, and I'm going to have a timestamp next to it as well. So feel free to skip ahead at your leisure. As I am looking at these questions, I would say about 95% of them relate to my next car, whether it's the Gallardo or my new daily driver to replace the Audi. As far as the Gallardo replacement, now, when I bought this car, I sold my Lotus, I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted a 6-speed manual Lamborghini Gallardo. It's the easiest decision I ever had to make. This next go-around, I honestly don't know exactly what I want, partly because I love this car so much. But part of the issue is that YouTube is such a big part of my life. There is pressure to refresh the brand because I've made videos on this car for 1.5 years, and let's be honest, it's getting kind of boring. Like, you guys have seen this car so many times, whereas if I get a new car to replace it, it kind of re-energizes the channel, it refreshes the channel. There's all these new videos I can make. Now, as far as the cars to replace the Gallardo with, you know, obviously you guys already know the McLaren 570, the McLaren 12C. Those are two of the frontrunner candidates. Other cars to consider, the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640, the Ferrari F430, the Ferrari F430 Scuderia. You know, each car has its positive and negatives. And another thing that I have to factor into the equation is that as a YouTuber, I don't want to have the same car that a bunch of other YouTubers have. So the Huracan, honestly, I'm not really considering the Huracan at this point because a lot of my YouTuber buddies have Huracans, and I kind of want to film something different. I want to experience something different, and I've been in and around a lot of Huracans, honestly. So, you know, that's really question number 2. What is the current status of my daily driver replacement? So, back in late December, early January, I was shopping for a new daily driver. I am still searching for a new daily driver. Snowball Rally, it didn't get in the way, obviously, but, you know, I knew Snowball Rally was on the horizon. I had to kind of get this car prepped and ready to go, and so the daily driver search kind of went on the back burner. And then my Audi got hit by the Hummer H3, which put the daily driver even further on the back burner. I'm almost at the point where the Audi situation is kind of resolved in general. And so now the daily driver is pushing toward the forefront. One thing I can't decide, do I sell the Audi or do I just buy a new daily driver and have the Audi as well? Because, you know, the Audi does have some value. It gets great gas mileage. I own the car free and clear. I can park it anywhere I want without worrying about it. So, and a lot of you guys won't understand, there's a lot of sentimental value attached to that car. I bought that car when I was 19 years old. I have been through everything in that car. I lived in that car. I was homeless in that car. I mean, that car has been a part of my life, and so to most people that car has no value. I should just drop it in a parking lot and leave the keys in it or whatever. But to me, it has a lot of value that nobody else will ever understand. You know, as far as the daily driver, you know, the Jeep Wrangler, the Ford Raptor are still kind of the front runners. There's a couple other trucks, SUVs I really want to test drive. I want to test drive a G-Wagon. I don't think I'd buy one, but I still want to test drive one. You know, there's, you know, the Toyota Tacoma, the 4Runner, I also think are great options. I still dig the FJ Cruiser. It's a tough decision, it really is. I mean, there's a lot of really, really good options. So once this Audi situation gets sorted, that's kind of really, I guess the next, not the next project, but that's kind of the next step, is to sort of figure out that situation. All right, so moving on. What modifications do I have planned for the car? So as of right now, I don't have anything specific, but let's go look at the car real quick. Okay, so from a styling perspective, the number one modification this car could use is the LP560 front bumper. I think visually it would be awesome. However, one of those bumpers, after getting it painted and installed, we're talking like $5,000 for a bumper. There's no way I can justify that. And then obviously wheels. I was looking at HREs a couple nights ago. We're talking like $5,000 a wheel, $20,000 once again. So that being said, if I do, bear in mind, if I do modify the car, it's going to be an aftermarket exhaust. But there are no specific plans to do that right now. So, no promises, guys. I did not say I'm getting an aftermarket exhaust, but if I do modify the car, that's what it'll be. Okay, here is one from Jack Bain. Where do you plan on moving if you ever moved? So this is a tough question for me because I absolutely love living in Park City. But from a YouTuber's perspective, it's not a very good place to live. You know, I do a lot of traveling, and between these trips I come back to Utah. And it's great because, you know, I love the people here, I love the climate, I love the outdoors. But from a YouTubing perspective, especially in the winter, there's not that much to film. I mean, I can only film so many videos of myself doing donuts, you know? Whereas if I lived in Los Angeles, Southern California, basically the car capital of America, it'd be so much easier to film content. That being said, I just love living in Utah though. So I really don't know. I mean, if I left Utah, Southern California would have to be near the top of the list. But as of right now, I don't really have any specific plans. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions asking about kind of like my travel plans for 2017. So in 2016, I went to Europe for 6 weeks. I was in Dubai for a couple weeks. I was back out on the East Coast for a while. I definitely want to go on a lot of trips this year. Automotive YouTubers either go to Europe, Dubai, or Southern California. And I feel like there's so many other cool places to see. Like, I don't think any of the automotive YouTubers I really follow have been to Australia. I don't think any of them have. You're like Africa, like South Africa, they have some really cool cars. South America, there's some big time cars in some of these places, and I would just love to go show you guys those cars. But more importantly, I'd love to show you like the culture and the experience of what it's like to visit these places. Because as far as myself, that's become more important to me than the cars. Like, the cars are cool, but they're kind of secondary now. Like, I want to go do things I've never done before, challenge myself like I never have. And going to Europe, I definitely want to go back to Europe this year as well. But I've been to Europe, and I haven't seen all of Europe, but I've seen some of it. But I've never been to Africa or South America. So I kind of want to get away from where every other YouTuber goes. I want to go somewhere new. You know, go to the top of the world. Go to Alaska. Go to the North Pole. I don't know. Iceland. I really want to go to Iceland. So this is a good question. So this one is from Wes Morrison. Do you ever worry that turning your passion of cars and vlogging into a career will burn you out on them? I turned my passion into a career, and it's no longer as fun as it once was. It's a chore now. There is part of me that feels that way. Like with YouTube, there's this pressure now to sort of come up with things to film, whereas beforehand, I'd just be doing something cool, like, oh, I should film this today. Whereas now it's like, what's the next video? What am I going to come up with to film? And so, to an extent, YouTube has definitely become more of a job, whereas when I first started, it was just kind of fun. The cool thing about YouTube is that as my passions change, I think my channel's changed as well. So when I first started my YouTube channel, it was kind of like a car spotting channel only. And I've done car spotting for so long that I've kind of got bored of it. And so the channel has switched into more like adventures rather than pure car spotting. Every once in a while, I kind of get the urge to go down to LA, do some car spotting, and so those videos appear every once in a while. But I think that's what's so cool about YouTube, is that if I get bored of something, I can just go film something else. And I don't really see myself ever getting bored of having adventures. There is a part of YouTube that will always be work, for sure. But every time I'm frustrated or down on YouTube, I just think back to myself sitting at a desk in front of a computer doing accounting, and poof, it's all gone. I bought a whiteboard. I know, I'm moving on up in the world. A whiteboard, that's amazing. This question is from Jason Ficarata. What was your down payment on the Lambo, and what do you pay monthly? So, I paid $110,000 for the car. I put $70,000 down, so my loan was for $40,000. My interest rate is 2.99%, and the term of my loan, or the length of my loan, is 54 months. Or 4.5 years. So my monthly car payment is $793 per month. Now, over the last year, but this right here is how much I still owe on the loan. So $22,139.81. So I'm almost halfway there. I'm getting pretty stoked. My goal by the end of 2017 is to have the car paid off. Now, obviously, I might have sold the car by then, but if not, that's kind of the goal. I was able to put so much down on the car that getting financed was like, it literally took 2 hours. Because from the bank's standpoint, if I put $70,000 down, there's pretty much no risk. Because in the event that I default, they would take control of my car, the Gallardo. They'd only have to get $40,000 out of it to cover their end. Which obviously is pretty easy from their standpoint. I've had a few other loans in the past couple years. My credit score is in the high 700s, so I didn't have really any issue at all. One issue I do run into when selling the Gallardo and replacing it with something else is that if I decide to take a next step up in the supercar range, I'm going to need to get financing. When I got the Gallardo financed, I worked in accounting, and so my pay history was very, very steady. I had pay stubs from the company I worked for, whereas now, because my earnings are purely from YouTube, they fluctuate like this. And so I am a little bit concerned with how financing is going to work the next go around. I can't really answer how it's going to go, but that is definitely a concern being self-employed now. All right, here's a question. This is a good one. This is from Sim1 Hague 2. Do you have a girlfriend? If not, why? So Sim, no, I do not have a girlfriend. Why do I not have a girlfriend? I think that probably every guy in the world who's single probably asks this question. Why? Why do I not have a girlfriend? Well, I'm still trying to trick a girl into dating me. I think that's kind of why. I'm just waiting for the right one. But now, one of the struggles I actually do run into with the Lamborghini is that it's such a big part of my life. But when I take a girl out on a first date, the last thing I ever want her to know is that I own a Lamborghini. But if she asks like what I do for a living, I have to mention YouTube as well, which I also kind of want to hide in the first date. And so it's kind of this tricky challenge to play. But I mean, if a girl finds out I have a Lamborghini on the first date, or if I roll up to her house in a Lamborghini, it sends the wrong impression, because you guys know I'm not like balling out or anything, and I don't want her to think I'm balling out, and I would never want a girl to like me under the wrong assumption. And so when I go out on a first date, I want to take the Lamborghini though, because it's so much more fun. Like, if I roll up to a girl's house, I pick her up in a Lamborghini, and then like we roll up to the next stoplight, and then I do a mad pull through the gears. Like, that's just cool. I feel cool. I have more confidence, and girls love confidence. It's an attractive trait. Whereas if I roll up in the Audi, now I have a hole the size of a softball in the front grille. Like, it's a struggle, and I don't know how to handle it. Obviously, I'm not handling it very well because I don't have a girlfriend. But yeah, more to come. Maybe, I don't know. Last question I want to answer in today's vlog. This one is from Affluent Autos. What is the brand and business plan for 2017? So as far as the brand plan, you know, I wear all these hats in all my videos, and I am giving companies free marketing without getting anything in return. And so my goal is to just create my own brand, my own Stradman hats. Probably get some other merchandise, some other shirts, sweatshirts, whatnot. I always want the channel to be focused on cars, adventures, and having fun. I never want my merchandise to come off as a sales pitch. So the plan is to always have the merchandise kind of in the background. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't have to hear about it. And then as far as my business plan for 2017, so, you know, I really want to take YouTube to the next level. My buddy Clayton, he's opening up his shop, Summit Auto Lab, up in Park City, and his garage is going to be off the charts. So the ground level is shop space, the second floor is office space, and then the third floor is an apartment that he's going to live in. Like, that is my dream. That is totally my dream. Like, I have no desire to own a 7,000 square foot home. Like, that doesn't interest me at all. Anything extravagant in life, I don't care about. Like, I don't wear fancy watches. I don't have a gold chain. Like, that does nothing for me. I just happen to love really, really expensive cars. And so my dream is to create like a Stradman garage, just like what Clayton's creating, where the first floor is my garage space where I park my cars. I have a spot to work on my cars. You know, the second floor would be like my editing studio, and then the third floor would be where I live. Some of you guys are probably familiar with Rob Deirdrecht and his Fun Factory. That's what I want to create for the YouTube channel. Basically a YouTube Fun Factory studio. And I want to get back into car sales as well. And so that would, the first floor would also function as a showroom. A very basic showroom where I would buy and sell cars through this space as well. So that's like my mega dream. One of the issues with this dream is that Park City is not cheap. Like, real estate is off the charts. I mean, if I wanted to get, like, we're talking like the most basic single home in Park City, bare minimum, we're talking like $500,000 to $1 million. Now, that's not quite Koenigsegg money, but it's kind of a fun comparison. I would rather have a Koenigsegg than a house in Park City. And so, like, the idea of getting this garage in Park City, I mean, it'd be so expensive is the problem. And so, does that mean I'm moving from Park City? No. I kind of talked about that question earlier. I don't know, it's just, this dream would be very expensive to achieve in Park City. So, anyways, that kind of finishes off today's vlog. Awesome questions, guys. I have hundreds and hundreds of more I want to answer. So I think maybe in a future vlog, I might try to go through some of them really quickly. Some of like the 15-second responses. But I have a meeting that I have to go to here in about half an hour. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Just like always, hope you'll subscribe. This is your last chance to win the drone. But just like that, this vlog is over, and I'm out.